Welcome to the What is Your Legacy podcast. In each episode, we invite leaders, entrepreneurs, innovators, and community champions to share their story of their journey. Covering the fields of sport, business, community, entertainment, politics, and philanthropy, we allow our guests to speak openly and share the ups and downs of their journey, and all of the things in between. My name's Trevor Worth, founder and chief executive of Portcullis Legals, and I hope you enjoy what we always call conversations worth having. Welcome to today's episode of What is Your Legacy podcast. My guest is Jim Bishop, who's the director and one of the founders of Red Air Media, which is a drone specialist not only here in the Southwest but across the country now, and doing great things in that environment. These conversations are very much about let's see where it flows, and today's takes an interesting turn, to say the least, as Jim opens up, and it was a privilege to listen to his story, and one I definitely didn't know beforehand. So over to Jim. We've known each other a long time, haven't we? 20 years? It's got to be 20 years.
It's got to be 20 years, if not a bit more. I'm sure we've passed further back than the Fruitgate incident.
Well, should we bring that up? Are you okay with me to talk about that? Because I'd love to.
We've got to talk about it because
right.
You said nobody ever done this.
No.
I've always been slightly different to everybody else, haven't I? So.
Different is definitely the phrase I'd use. So I remember sitting there with you both, and in my job, obviously, I get to find all sorts of things out, don't I, from people. And the one question that always throws people is that thing about, their funeral service. And I get that because some people don't want to think about it. Some people know everything about it, and some people sit in between. But you knew everything about it, didn't you? In terms of... I've never had that response before from anyone where I said, what would you like at your funeral? And you said to me, you'd like everyone to be happy and jolly and turn up dressed as exotic pieces of fruit.
Yeah.
Which, still to this day, 20 years on, no one's ever said that, And it always brings a smile to my face. But then that's reflective of your personality, isn't it?
Well, it's only because you said we weren't allowed to have a Valhalla funeral off of Mount Battle.
That's true.
So we had to tone it down a little bit.
That'd be more fun, wouldn't it? Imagine that.
That would be a great
You could get your drones to do it.
Yeah, what a great send-off will that be? And I'm sure there's got to be a business model in there somewhere.
Probably is. What about, marketing opportunity there. Imagine that boat going off and the drone flying above and all the arrows going. It'd be amazing.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But you've always been an interesting character, haven't you? That's,
Thank you.
No, it's good because not everyone should be vanilla, should they? We should all have a bit of colour in our life, As I always say to my daughter, it should be raspberry ripple, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Be a bit different, a bit quirky, and that's good.
I think it's down to my childhood. My older brothers and my family at home, we just got this wicked Bishop sense of humour.
Right.
We're all big children. We grew up on Blackadder.
Did you?
There's always comedy and humour in our house. We're always playing tricks. Even my oldest brother now, who works at Westland, still plays tricks on people. He's like 54, 55 years old. Yeah. And we're still a kid. And I guess that's the way I am. I blame it on my family.
Yeah, I think as well, because we're men, we never grow up, do we? That's the other thing.
Never. No. It's overrated.
And we got to get that in first, because, ladies will say the opposite, won't they?
Why do you need to grow up?
Yeah, you don't, do you?
No.
Just have fun,
You've
enjoy
got
yourself.
to be professional sometimes and do a job and
sometimes.
Money. Sometimes. But do you really need to grow up?
No.
It's a myth. It's a trap, isn't it?
It's overrated, isn't it?
Get you wearing tartan slippers.
Exactly, yeah. Get too serious, Get too serious. So, obviously, you're Plymouth born and bred.
Yeah.
Went to school in Plymouth. I think it was Widey you went to, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Good school. Good rugby school as well. Played a lot of good rugby.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I like Widey. It was good.
We had a teacher that came from Widey a bit before your time called Mr. Padfield, and he came to our school at Tamar, and he was brilliant, and he always spoke really well of Widey, but we used to love playing you guys at sport, And I know it's different age groups, different years, but we used to enjoy that.
Yeah, it was a good school. We were there in the last generation, so as the school was closing, we were the last full year there. But it was a technical school. It was there to make people intelligent to go into the dockyard. It was a feeding school of engineers and technical people and stuff. So it was quite interesting.
A lot, a lot of people that went into the dockyard and BT and all sorts from there.
Well, it was the standard apprenticeships. It was the dockyard, the PSA, the gas, the rail. And that was what you did when you left Widey. You went to one of those normally.
So where did you go from school? What path did you go on?
So I went for the dockyard exams. and I went for the British Rail, and I went for the Property Services Agency, which is part of the government. The doctor I'd interview was great because I walked in, they knew me dad, and they asked me what job I wanted.
Oh, really? See, it's who you know, isn't it? Not what you...
Well, Bishop's on what do you want to do? That was easy.
Yeah.
But I ended up going in the Property Service Agency as a heating and ventilating engineer.
Right.
So I did my days in Early Settled Bomb Depot.
Did you?
Yeah, which was pretty cool. I did sort of 4 years down there and then into South Yard.
Is that where, you know, I know it's an urban myth about how deep it is underneath the hillside by the Tamar Bridge, and that's what you mean, isn't it? Around that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about there's big tunnels that go underneath there with storage and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have many cars in there. So I remember going back on my first day and saying to my mum, I said, "Mum, I've got a company vehicle." And she went, "What, really?" She was really like excited about it. And they give you a butcher's bike in there for carrying your tools around because you're not allowed to have too much combustion and stuff with all the weapons and stuff in there.
Butcher's bike.
So there used to be this flotilla of guys every morning at like 8:30 after snack, riding around the depot like the Tour de France on these butcher's bikes with tools and stuff.
Fantastic. Memories.
It was great. It was great days.
So how long were you in there for?
I did 6 years before I got made redundant. They privatised the company. So yeah, I found myself coming out into the big wide world in about 1991, 92. And trying to decide, it was a flip coin time of my life. I've been doing martial arts for a while. Tempted to go in the Air Force to carry on, maybe do some engineering, avionics and stuff like that.
So what were you then, sort of early 20s, that sort of age, mid-20s?
Yeah, about 22, 23. I thought I wanted to go into avionics engineering. Went in, signed up, did my test. They said, yeah, we'll take you on for avionics. So I was really excited. And then they rang me up and went, "No, we're not taking on for avionics now at the moment, but we're taking on for police." And I said, and they said, "Look, you're qualified. You're a black belt martial artist. We'd love to have you. You'd probably be more qualified than a lot of our guys. You can probably be an instructor. We'll give you a dog and a gun." And I go,
sounds great.
Sounded quite interesting. Yeah. And then I knackered my leg up. I was fighting this guy called Bruno, French Thai boxing champion. Right. Took my leg away rather than a sparring session. He took my leg away and I couldn't walk. I had these insults. They didn't know what was wrong with me, ironically. And that sort of like threw me out. So I couldn't go in the Air Force. I'd working in the window industry for the window store at Wing Group for a while. And I thought, well, I can't run, can't walk and stuff for a while. So that I missed my entry date in, which I guess was a sliding door thing. And spent the next 10 years in the window industry, working my way up through that and sort of starting to fight with this problem that was happening with my leg. Right. Which nobody sort of really knew. I got back into training quite quick. I was back in the gym and fighting. It was my obsession after basketball. So, yeah.
We're talking about basketball in a while.
Yeah.
So tell us all about the leg and how... Did you try and ignore what was going on there, or just covered it up, masked it, or? Yeah,
I just sort of. I was pretty fit. I was training 6 days a week, doing 3 different martial arts styles. I was pretty epically fit. Shoved it off, carried on with training. Leg was sort of go dead from time to time, and just buddied on with it. Really, I think my fitness carried me through. It wasn't until probably I was 97, 98. When I was living up in Yeovil, and I was training, I was trying to train. Some days I'd struggle a little bit more stretching and flexibility, which was unusual because I was pretty good at kicking people in the head.
Yeah.
And I moved back down here. I started driving a lot, so I got this job where I was spending a lot of time in the car, and that's this trigger point. I get in the car, and I was struggling to get back out again. I'm thinking, must be getting a bit old, go and see a specialist, or it's spondylitis, she got this, she got that. I didn't really know what it was, and just carried on. And it reached the point some days where I couldn't even get in the car.
Wow.
And I was thinking something's not right.
Was it just stiff? Is that what it was? You just couldn't.
My legs would sort of
no flexibility.
Yeah, I had flexibility, but there was just this increased shooting of pain.
Right.
We tried different cars and different things. Didn't really know what it was, to the point where I was at my wit's end with that career, and nobody seemed to be helping me, and I lost my temper and told them all to shove it, and I'm going to work for somebody local rather than drive around the country. And then I was working for a company called SSI Windows, a mate of mine called Bob, who sponsored me when I was fighting, which was really, really good of him. And we were renovating the house. It's just after where we met. And just as I finished renovating the house, which was a group effort, we did all the physical work ourselves. So I got War Marine mates, field gunner mates, and we in for a few beers and stuff. Gutted this house ourselves. Literally finished 2 weeks. Went and picked him off the floor and I collapsed.
Did you?
Just gone. Like somebody had taken my legs away from underneath me. Right. And I was in shock. My friend at the time, Sue Lawley, obviously War Marine.
Yes, yeah.
Picked me up, carried me to the doctor's surgery, I think. I don't know if he drove me, I don't really remember. Stood me in front of the doctor and went, this isn't right. This guy's like, you know. So they stripped me off and stood and looked at me and they went, why have we not noticed this, Jim? You got all the symptoms of spina bifida.
Oh,
Johnny
my
Bravo.
goodness.
Big shoulders and stick legs.
Wow.
He said it's tick, 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 10, 10. This is what the issue is. And it's like, fuck. I was like, didn't know what to do with myself. That year in my life, the pain, I don't really remember that year. The medication and stuff that was almost just, I don't really know what was going on. Lucky for me, I had some money in the bank, found this guy called Ian Popel, surgeon, Europe's best spine specialist.
Based in London or something probably? Or
out of Bristol.
Right.
I said, I need to go and see him. So I got an appointment with the guy. He said, you have this really rare form of spina bifida where the bottom of your spinal cord is the little elastic band thing called the phylum.
Right.
Instead of being like that, it's like that. And it's pulling both ways to be doing that. And he said, the reason they never noticed it is because you're so phenomenally fit.
You're fit. Yeah.
He said, this should have affected you 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
He said, so the last straw on the camel's back. And he said, we got this team. He said, we can operate on you. And he says, a 50-50 chance whether you walk again. I went, I can't walk anyway. I'm housebound. I'm destroyed.
Yeah.
I remember sitting at home watching the Disabled Olympics, and I said to my wife at the time, wheelchair basketball, I could do better that. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to give up on this.
Yeah.
So a year at home went by. Went for surgery.
Right.
They cut a bit on my spine. Their technical words that they reminded me the following day was your spine went ping.
Oh my goodness.
Like an elastic band when we cut it. And then I spent either 2 or 3 weeks in traction, I really can't remember.
Right.
And got up and walked out of hospital.
That's incredible.
They said you'll be left with permanent neurological damage. How that will affect you for the rest of your life, we don't know. See you later.
No. Wow. And like I said, at that stage, you didn't know what the future held, did you? You didn't know.
No, I didn't know how
physically, mentally,
how that would affect me. I spent 6 to 8 months teaching myself to walk again.
Right.
I'd come out the house and walk to the gate, and then past the gate, and then to the edge of the field, and then across the field, then round the field, then down towards the paper shop. And I did that religiously to get myself walking again.
Did you?
My really good mate, Simon Angle, who taught me martial arts, was motivating me. And he said, when you can walk, do yoga. He said, that's what you need to do, because my body had changed. My feet were a shoe size bigger, and I was taller after the operation because it had been pulling me down so much.
Right.
I was now standing upright.
Yeah.
My toes had been released.
Oh, my goodness.
So I taught myself to walk again, went to yoga, started to work. Took a temporary job at Parcel Force for 9 years. Temporary for 9, yeah. And I think it started to kick in, the neurological and the damage to where I could do some stuff. My calf muscles didn't work post-operation on my toes and stuff, and that started to deteriorate in my balance. And then I started to limp a bit, and getting out of the van all day was causing some issues and stuff with my hip. And I ended up having they said it was a labral tear, and it was causing me a lot of trauma climbing and out. Now, over this period of time, I've been seeing physios every week, every month or so for pain, and my back seizing up. There was this sort of long journey, and it was hard. Mostly probably hidden up by drink and stuff.
It sounds hard, and I don't know if you're high as a kite a lot of the time on drugs and, to manage the pain. And
I thought that was the way to deal with it, was to drink my way through it and take medication and whatever I needed to do, because I'm Jim. I've got to put that brave face on. The rest of the world can't see what's going on inside my head, because that's not the way I'm built.
No, it's not.
And it reached the point... It reached the point where I was reading a book on PTSD by Jason Fox.
Right.
And it was about 2.5 years ago. And I was reading this book, and it was just post-lockdown. And it said big men can ask for help. And I put the book down, I walked into the hospital.
Oh my God,
and said, help. Help. I'm in so much fucking pain all the time. I can't cope with this. I'm drinking. I don't know what to do. I need some help. And I had some therapy sessions. I realised I needed to change things.
Yeah.
I stopped drinking to very little.
Yeah.
I'm now coming up to 1 year sober.
Oh, wow. Well done,
which is phenomenal. I found this amazing physiotherapy lady that said, I'm going to help to rebuild you from whatever it costs. I'm going to do this for you. And she helped to straighten me up.
Did she?
And adjust my posture from the head down. And that was brilliant. That worked, but that also then threw in the not drinking.
Yeah.
My legs started to work a bit less. I started falling over.
Right.
Which is really bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, because you think it'd be the opposite, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And there's something neurological in how the drink was holding my body together and masking what was going on. And we were filming the amazing Mr. Omrod.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Which come through a conversation of him wanting to raise some money, and obviously we'll film it for you.
Yeah.
And he fell over, which was gold. For him it was gold for the process of what he wanted to achieve. Him falling over that day, Victoria Park, £500,000, mustard. The guy's a legend.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And he said to me, "You've fallen over more than me. Surely there's something you can do for this." And it was mentally breaking me falling over. There's nothing as strong as you think you are when you're walking along with somebody and you fall over, tripping over your own feet all the time. And this was happening like every day.
Was it?
Every other day, just falling over, walking on the high street, talking to somebody, walking across the beach.
Just nothing in particular, just
tripping over. My foot would drop and I'd fall over.
Yeah. Something we'd all take for granted, don't we?
Yeah.
As we do.
And you can't see it in me. I don't look like there's anything wrong with me.
No, not at all.
And that started to break me. I'm like,
did it?
Yeah.
Because people can't see it. Quite a lot of the time with disability, unless you see it, you don't understand it, do you? No. You can't, you can't take on board that there's some challenge there for someone, And like we've said before, I didn't know that about you at all. No. Not at all.
And I'll keep that mask on. I've got to get on with things. Got to get on with things.
Your Jim.
And falling over was doing my head in. I'm like, what's wrong with me? And it's just like, Claire would go, "You take a dog for a walk," and I'm like, yeah. And I'd only go like a couple hundred meters in the road because I was afraid I was going to fall over.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, I need to do something about this. And talking with Mark and Ben Wadham, who's been bloody amazing.
Yeah, inspiring guys, aren't they?
I went and saw this guy at the Nuffield, who ironically was a specialist and also a customer of my wife's business at Bantham. And he said, "You need these carbon fibre leg supports. They'll help you because fusing your ankles, we've done all the tests. They flap around. My toes don't do anything. Below the knees don't work for me.
Don't they? How much sensitivity is there? Is it a few calves and all that?
I can feel them flex, but below the ankles, I don't really feel my toes. If you touch them and tickle them, they're murder. But the rest of the time, I don't really feel them.
No.
Which is quite bizarre.
Yeah. I won't take you up on that offer.
And I'm
not on camera.
I have this real conscious thing when I'm walking bare feet at home, which I can do. But even the slightest weight of a shoe makes my foot do that.
Right.
So when I take a dog out, I now have to put my leg braces on. But sorry, this specialist said you need these bits of kit. Go and see these. Got these carbon fibre leg braces now, which hold my leg up, which is what you saw me adjusting.
Yeah. Because that was the first time. It was like, what's going on there?
And they're amazing. I can now stand upright. I can now move. I now have mobility. I now have a form of balance. That was a massive change. And then I realised I needed to increase my fitness and do what I need to do. So I've got involved with this train a guy called Will Wood, and he said, I'll bespoke stuff for you to help you.
Right.
Currently, I'm probably the fittest I've been in the last 25 years of my life.
Wow.
In strength and fitness, because these braces allow me to do pretty much anything.
Yeah. They must give you confidence as well. They must.
Oh, they're my cape.
Yeah.
Without them, I feel vulnerable. I have to take them off. I have to wear a different shoe for driving. So I've got to get out of that bravery of going, no, I'll drive with them on, and then causing leg problems and stuff. Got to take my shoe off all the time.
Yeah. But high heels driving are always bad, aren't they? You
never want to do... as you know, Trev, you know.
Exactly. Imagine my calves in high heels.
But yeah, it's been... The hardest bit is the continuing what's going to happen next to my body. Is it getting... I'm all right with it. I need these leg braces all the time. Claire said, did you wear them all the time? I said, yeah. I said, I'm scared when I don't have them on. Oh, yeah. I feel really vulnerable. I feel like I'm like a little kitten hiding under a bush. When I put them on, it's like I've got a superpower.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, like you said, from the outside looking in at you as a personality, you're larger than life. You know, you're super well known in Plymouth, aren't you? You know, I mean, I know we all live in this village, but we've got so many mutual connections, haven't we, all over the place. But whenever I think of you, I always think of somebody really upbeat and positive, and that's probably a little bit of that mask, isn't it? Trying to cover up.
It is a mask. My mum's great. My mum's always been that stick your chin in the air.
That's
carry on my life. You know, I hang out with some great guys, the bike guy gang friends and stuff I've met over the years.
Yeah,
some great through the darkest times of my days. Dealing with pain and stuff, they were like really good people to lift me up and really good friends, the same as all around you. And it's fighting those inside battles on a daily basis. The worst thing for me, I find, is I never know what my leg's going to do when I get up in the morning.
No, right. And you've got no control on that either.
No.
It's just...
If I don't have a leg, then it's fine. But I can get up and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling lively today. This is going to be a good day. Or this is a struggle. Or I might go weave my way into the bathroom.
Yeah.
With my hands out because I think I'm going to fall over.
Yeah,
and that's the daily battle. That's the psychological bit that I have to control. Is I just don't know how my body's going to react today.
No, it sounds to me though a lot of the things you're saying there is they're like day-to-day things, but you still do lots of like really risque, adventurous things, don't you? Because you like your,
Why not? Because she'd be dead tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Look at Mark. He runs. He can run fast. He's got no legs and one arm. He can run faster than me, swim faster than me, cycle faster than me, do jiu-jitsu better than me. Yeah. So I've got some inspiration to try and do it with my legs.
We're lucky to have people like that around us.
Yeah.
But then you can be an inspiration for other people now, can't you? Because what you're going through and telling your story, which is really important.
I've never told the whole story. I've never really got it out. It's been sat there, and as you said, you didn't know. And you sort of filled up a bit, and it's a constant. I think Claire sort of forgets about it sometimes, and Rocky sort of understands. But it's when I'm at home and I have to lean against the worktop to do a job, because I've got my leg braces on. I have to think to do that because else I'll start like wobbling around. It's it's hard, but I think with what I'm doing physically with my training and having these leg braces to be able to do stuff is not stopping life. You can have a disability and still do stuff. You ain't got to sit down and do nothing.
No.
You've got to... If I didn't do what I did, I'd be in a wheelchair and a lot more pain.
Yeah.
So my life choices of how I evolve are based on, I know physically that if I don't do what I do now, I'll be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I want to that to never happen. I want to prolong that through exercise and fitness and well-being
and you've got a lot of life to live yet, and
50's the new 30, isn't it?
Yeah, well, let's hope so. But I mean, the thing for me there as well is when you were reading that book, that it inspired you to go and do something, or almost recognise what the issue was, because you knew what the physical issue was with yourself, didn't you? And you dealt with that. But to stop the drinking and go and ask for help, it's such a massive thing for men, isn't it? I mean,
phenomenal.
You know, without stereotyping, women do it all the time, don't they? They open up to their friends and you know, and people around them, their networks, but us as men, we're terrible at it. We're terrible. We'll leave everything to the last minute. We won't open up. We won't go to the doctors. We won't face reality. And for you to have done that, and that book helped you do it, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'd understand PTSD. I've got a good mate of mine who's ex-special forces, and he told me about some of his experiences and his traumas and stuff. And so I was aware of it, but I just thought, I don't need to speak to somebody. I'll be right. I can deal with this.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. You know, it was breaking inside, and I needed to. I literally just walked in the hospital and went, "Help!"
Did you?
I need to speak to somebody. Help me! Help me!
Yeah.
I need help. I need to get this demon out of my head.
Yeah. And that's a real watershed moment for you, isn't it? That line, and that's a big thing.
And I think the fear was being a dad. You know, Rocco was 8.5. I didn't not want to be able to do anything with him. I was afraid. I didn't want to be drinking around him all the time. I didn't want to be that 5 cans of lager a night and half a bottle of wine, because I need that to deal with it. Ironically, Claire said something really funny last night. We're chatting. We always have like our weirdest conversations the last time Dave and laid in bed.
It's weird, though, isn't it? Yeah, I know what you mean.
So all day we're like, we've got a business and life's going on with that. And we lay in bed and we have these quite realistic conversations. He said, when you don't drink, where do you get your pleasure in life? Where's your... Because we always class drinking as a pleasure and something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And then when you don't drink, where do you replace it? And I said, was it cake? She said, no, I'll just eat as much cake as I want anyway.
Don't do that, mate.
But she's Superwoman. She's training for a triathlon for her 50th birthday.
Wow.
She's absolutely on it at the moment. She got this skin thing that drives her nuts, and she's obviously going through the menopause, and she can't take the medication because of her skin thing. So sport has taken on for her. She's done a couple of sprint triathlons, and she nails, man. She's on it. She gets up at 6 a.m. and absolutely smashes it out.
Wow.
On her 50th birthday this year is the Dartmouth Triathlon. She said, I'd like to do it. It's a birthday. I went, yeah, go for it. And she's looking at her times. And
is she? Good for her.
Probably, I'd say she should categorically win based on last year's records and her split times. Maybe top 7 overall. I think she wants to think she can get to top 5.
That'd be amazing.
All women. She's got business at the moment. We're getting ready for the new season, so she's
the demands are
stressful and ice at the moment. But once the season's open and she gets back into her training, although she's been getting up at 5:30 and running to Bantham and then cycling home and going for a swim.
Bantham's beautiful as well, isn't it? Beautiful area. So that beach is amazing.
Lucky to have on our doorstep and to be part of our business, to be down there all the time. So.
Absolutely. And no doubt you got loads of drone shots of Bantham, haven't you? Because it's beautiful.
Not for ages, I've done so much of it. I did a lot of surfing filming there when I first learned to fly, so I'd film surfing every week.
Right.
But I was sort of like filmed the pants out of that.
Yeah. I was going to say, so that transition from, you know, where you were always employed into running your own show now with Red Air Media, how did that come about? And, you know, what inspired you to go and do your own thing?
Claire. So she said to me, look, you're leaving Royal Mail, great. Our business is growing at Gastrobus. You can come and work with me in the business, but it's my business.
Right.
She said,
crystal clear.
Crystal clear. It's my business. You got to have your own business. That's how it is in life.
Yeah.
She said, I've seen this program on drones yesterday. I'm going to buy you one and send you a course. I reckon that's the future. It's her idea. So I was living in Ivory Bridge at the time. I just had my hip operation. So I had a rucksack, some lemonade bottles, and this drone. And I'd go out on my crutches out into the field, lay these lemonade bottles out, and I'd practice flying around them. So I found this manual online of what you need to do to be a professional drone pilot. Yeah. So I'd go out and I'd spend hours learning to fly. And she sent me off and I did my ticket. So in the first 2,000 people in the UK to get a drone.
Yeah, because it's all licensed and that sort of thing, isn't it?
It's like my ticket number's like 2,000.
Wow.
And started doing some bits. I knew, obviously being a local boy, I knew a few people could take some pictures of this for you or make a little film of that. And just sort of learning, really. I always had this interest in making films. So I used to have had this little YouTube channel and I used to make stop animations and film stuff for people because I was always interested how they made TV and just taught myself.
Yeah.
And about 3 or 4 months into the business, I had this phone call from a mate of mine at the Apple store. I said, look, we're doing a talk on drones. Do you want to come in and talk about what you know and how you think this is going to work in the construction?
To the staff in there?
Yeah, and people. They're bringing all these people in.
Ah, right, okay.
Local business people. And I said, taught martial arts for years. I'm not shy.
No,
not shy
no, you're definitely not shy.
I'll come and do a chat. And they said, that's cool. There's this other guy called Gavin Crowther there. And I thought, I've seen him in the paper in the week. It was this serious-looking guy.
Yeah, it's very intense.
I was like, oh, yeah. So anyway, we walked in and we started chatting and we had some films showing and Gav said, you got a bit of an eye for this, actually, filming. Oh, cheers, mate. He said, be interested to hear what you got to say. So I come from filming background, used to hang out with helicopters and stuff, and drones have replaced that for me.
Right.
So we went to do this talk and we both ended up doing each other's talk with each other. And he said, look, I'm sort of do this on my own and you're on your own. Should we work together and see how it works? So we did that for sort of 3 years. Yeah. Started doing work for local council, housing authorities and builders and stuff. And it was picking up momentum. Sort of technology was sort of coming on a bit. So we were making enough money to make a living. Started to pay the mortgage and stuff with it as well.
Yeah. So that was a sliding doors moment then, the Apple.
Yeah.
Sort of get together.
Yeah. So I was teaching Gav about technology and my secret geekiness, and he was teaching me how to film better. And then we started to set the limited company because we were starting to get some good traction in the industry. And we're now on year 8.
That's incredible.
We've launched a franchise model. We have 2 current franchisees on board with another 2 coming up.
Yeah, and that's across the UK. That's
the UK.
Yeah. So
we have niched specially rounds. I think the business splits down the middle. So we do corporate filming. So we work for Young's pubs, like Horton Woodhouse and breweries. We work for the BBC, doing different TV shows, DIY SOS, Villages by the Sea, Chelsea Flower Show.
Ah, fantastic.
So we do all the drone stuff for that.
Right.
And we create corporate identity interviews. And so we do camera work as well as drones. Gav's a professional cameraman. And I do Instagram stuff. I'm sort of like down with the kids. So I like
down with the kids,
and stuff. And then on the construction side, technology has evolved at phenomenal acceleration. So if you go back 4 years, people have got a leak in my roof and you just take 200 photographs and somebody would sit there and you look through all the photographs. Then it became software that would stitch those photographs together. Right. So you can look at the whole roof and then you can move the building around and create a 3D model. And then the drone technology, so the resolution was getting higher. So you could create a building in 3D and people can look at the windows and the walls and stuff like that. That's evolved now to phenomenal technology where we're doing groundworks and civil engineering, topography, accurate measurements. We did a project recently in Plymouth with Kia. Oh, yeah. They did a traditional survey and they said, do it by drone, let's do a comparison. We completed the task 95% faster.
Did you?
Without anybody on the ground in risk, health and safety area. Right. We processed all the data in 24 hours instead of 4 weeks. Wow. And we were 15% more accurate. Right. So when you move an earth on site at $5 grand a lorry, we sold them 12 grand and reduced the health and safety risk by 90%.
Wow. I mean, without going into too much about the commercials, how cost effective is it compared to the other route? You know, what
cheaper.
You're doing? Yeah, a lot cheaper.
We're a lot
considerably,
cheaper. Considerably, and it's digital, and there's no argument. There's normally that argument between the ground workers and the contractors, and how much earth and the volume and what it costs. Right. It's black and white. You can't miss it.
No. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's evolved into overlaying drawings, civil engineering plans and stuff, onto what we do. Yeah. So they can make notes. So we're involved with Morgan Sindel in the city.
Yeah. I mean, there's huge contracts out there to pitch for and win, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's beyond our shores as well, isn't there? There's all sorts of opportunities.
Yeah, and it's new technology. So a lot of my time is spent, as I did this morning when I come here, this is what we can do. And they're like, really?
Wow.
Yeah, this saves you time and money. Yeah. It's digital. There's no arguing about it. No. You can share it. It's there forever. We can go weekly, monthly. It's, and we're just like blowing people's minds. They're going, wow, can we do that for us?
Great. Well, your brand is certainly out there, and I mean, your own reputation, but the red air media, you see it everywhere now. You see it at the sports, don't you?
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
it, like with corporates. I'm going to tell you something really geeky now.
Yeah.
So when I was at school, I always wanted to be a cartographer.
Yeah.
Because I love maps and all that. I mean, it's quite sad, really, And I remember I used to love looking at those books where you'd get the aerial views of, castles and landmarks and that. And drones for me are so fascinating because it is that quantum leap on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but using technology in the right way. And I remember with Michelle, my wife, we went to watch a film back in, God, it's got to be 2007, 8 now. And it was called, I don't know if you've seen it, 30 Days of Night. It's like some vampire type killing thing in Alaska or somewhere, But it was so brilliant. I remember saying at the time, how outstanding is this film work? Because what they did was the first time I'd ever seen it is as people were being killed, it sounds a bit grim, but as they were being killed on the snow, they were taking aerial shots of all this mass sort of, vampires running around. And all you could see was the red blood on the white amongst all these huts in the Arctic, wherever it was. And it was just outstandingly stunning work, and that's where I first started taking interest in drones, and obviously I haven't got a drone, but I watch people's work, and I think it's brilliant. Yeah, I have to get me one. That'd be a treat.
And teach you.
Yeah, because it's
if that's your thing, what people don't realise is that looking down perspective is amazing. I did about 4 years ago. I did a photographic series for an art gallery in Kingsbridge of images around Bantam and South Hams, just all looking down on beach shores and stuff.
Which is a totally different perspective, isn't it? That no one ever sees. I love that.
I think we saw about 10 or 12 prints. One of them actually became an album cover for a friend of mine.
Wow.
But main obviously kind of used this image for it. Something I want to do again because I like to take photographs in a way that you don't see them. Also, prospectively now with the drones that fly through buildings, the FPV is massive. We've just done it in Covent Garden.
Have you?
Through the Marquis of Anglesey. We've been in all the way up, out the windows and back in again.
Amazing.
We did it at Raiders.
That
stunning stroke of luck
going around
with timing. I'd say that's more stroke of luck with timing. I know.
You think
some say professional, some say stroke of luck.
Yeah, just claim it. Just
nailed that. And we're doing more of that at the moment. I've got an art gallery that I fly through every other month and have the exhibition because it creates something different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're getting, I go in there and fly through the building, they're getting 10, 11, 12,000 Instagram hits and getting business from it. Yeah.
Wow.
From the art gallery. And I make reels and stuff on my phone, Instagram reels and stuff for them in the art gallery because it's worth them paying me £300 or £400 every month to come and create something because the impact it's getting for them socially on social networks and stuff is phenomenal, and they just can't stop. And we're starting that with more people.
Yeah, and that's where it's all at, isn't it? If you're not strong on social media, you're going to struggle, aren't you?
You can't get down with the kids and learn. Just because you're, how old am I? 40-something. Always 42 in my life.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
You've got to learn every day. You can learn something. I use LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Every day I spend at least 20 minutes on each to read, to research. How is somebody making that shot? That's amazing. How can I do that?
It's learning your craft well, isn't it? And being the best you can and enjoy it.
Yeah, but making it modern.
Yeah.
You've got to be 21st century. TikTok's broken, mate. I can't get that. I can get some good views. I found a youngster that's going to do TikTok for us, which is good. Interesting.
Yeah.
He wants to be, he's getting like millions of hits from this guy. He's doing it.
Really? See, that's delegation as well, isn't it? That's passing on what you're not strong at, let someone else do it. It's really good at it.
And I said, look, I'll pay you a commission. See if I can. He said, if you can monetize and generate me business through TikTok, which I think is impossible, although every time I watch Dragon's Den, Stephen Bartlett says you can. Right? Prove it to me, and you'll earn money.
Yeah.
And if you can do it for me, everybody that knows me will want you to do it for them.
Yes, it's true.
I said, so experiment with us. I'll give you a bit of money. I'll help you out. I want to help you do what you think you can do.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's giving someone a leg up. Yeah, that's a great thing. I think that's one of the best things about business, isn't it? Because you can give other people opportunities, open doors for them, because, we've all needed that in life, haven't we?
And we've got to, as, the same himself. Yeah. We have an opportunity, the same with Ross, people like that. Everybody in the city, Ben, Sharon, all these people, you've got the chance to help people as well. You don't always need to be paid for something.
No, you don't.
Doing a good deed, whether it's speaking to the old lady, and I live by this, that old lady you see walking to Tesco's every day that nobody speaks to, that lives at the end of the road. Stop and talk to her.
Yeah.
Because I believe in my world of yin and yang, that if you do that, then something good will happen.
Yeah.
And it works for me. It always works. Do a good deed for somebody. Be good. Yeah. Put yourself out. Give somebody your last thing. Do something for nothing.
Yeah.
And then
comes back.
It comes back. And it does. And I swear by that all my life. In my weird spiritual way, that works for me.
That's why we get on. Because I'm a great believer in you put something out there, don't you? And like you said, the value on it is what the other person perceives. You're not doing it for any other reason than just being a good person, aren't you? And we're all not here for a long time, so we need to do some good things for you. And I love seeing other business people do things like that, because it gives you faith back in the world as well. That, it's not all about money, is it? And assets. And, I see that a lot with clients where some of them will only talk about those things. And I'd say, well, what about your impact on, your community and what do you do and all that?
Yeah.
Because that's what we leave behind. Because, this is called What is Your Legacy? And, you want to be thought of as a good person when you go, and you've had some positive impact on people's lives. And I think that's a brilliant thing. And we should all encourage it.
Well, I think it's in the modern workplace, it's now quite common. So it's good social values, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Last year we worked with Children's Hospice Southwest, created them some amazing film. We filmed their ride for 3 days.
Did you?
That was emotional as well,
imagine.
because talking to these guys and stuff, just after my dad had died as well.
Right.
I'm sat at a table with this guy that lost his kids.
Yeah.
And he got up and spoke to everybody in the room, and he said, I do this because I can help other people understand it. And that Children's Hospice, what a network of people.
It's incredible.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. To work with them for 3 days and be part of that family, we still chat.
Yeah.
I'm in the chat page,
nice.
which is great. Nice. And then we move on to the next project where we're trying to work with Billy Chip with Morgan Cinder, which is a token, a chip for the homeless people, which is coming to Plymouth.
Oh, I've heard about this. Yeah, what a great idea.
So it's everywhere apart from the West Country at the moment.
Yeah.
So Morgan Cinder are about to launch it, I think, in May. So basically, you see a homeless person, you can buy these tokens in like Greggs and Boots and independent coffee stores and stuff. They're worth £2.
They can go in.
You give them to the homeless people, they can go and buy food and drink.
Yeah.
It's redeemable.
That's great.
Because none of us, carry money, and all we want to give people cash.
Yeah.
So that's our project this year, getting the Billy Chip.
Fantastic.
And helping them do some launch. And I think we're doing something up in Wales for R.M. Williams. They're doing a charity bike ride overnight, 100 miles, for one of their local charities. I think it's for like a Help for Heroes sort of thing.
Right.
In Wales, and I'm going to go and help them with that. They said, would you?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
We're building relationships with you both through business, but we got something we can give you. You're doing something for somebody, so can we document that for you? Can we help you put it better on social media? And then we just get to hang out.
Yeah.
Business will happen, and that.
Yeah, it just comes, doesn't it?
But I want to do something. I want to help you.
Yeah.
And
doing good while you're doing business, nothing wrong with that. The interesting thing for me is what the sort of people I meet a lot, even when we're doing podcasts like this or out in the public domain, is they all talk about just doing nice things with nice people, and things come as a result of it, don't they? And there's nothing wrong with that at all, is there? And I think, when you talk to younger people, especially, I think sometimes through things like Dragon's Den, which is good and bad, they get this impression that everybody's going to be harsh and, tough in business. And it's not quite like that. Business is tough, isn't it? But you can still keep your own values and be a decent person, can't you? And try and do things in the right way. Yeah. And long may that continue, And
it's interesting because that reminded me, obviously my father passed away last year. My dad's full title, pleasantly, is the Honorary Alderman Bob Bishop, MBE.
Fantastic.
Remember going out with the Queen, and then getting to bits and pieces. And he always did loads of stuff for charity, and he did all this thing. I never really realised the impact of what my dad did.
No.
Even down for his work at Plymouth Argyle, he was the concierge for the boardroom and the board of directors, and he really good mate. When Argyle went through some trouble, the chairman at the time turned to my dad and spoke to him, and my dad helped him. And when he passed and we had the funeral, the people that come out, I never realised how much. Because I just thought my dad was always
that's your dad
because he wanted a day.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how much he actually changed people's life. He probably did a bit too much. I think that's to probably do with bipolar or whatever. He run around like a wasp in a window.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But
he had impact.
He had impact.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
The Chinese mental health group, people they work with in Bristol. My nephew went and visited one of the ladies when he was in Singapore and met up with her, Angela, her old friend. And the phone calls from Plymouth Argyle and the people at Argyle and James Brent and everybody that phoned me up and turned up or sent
well thought of there. Very well.
It was pretty amazing to come away from that and realising up until that point I didn't realise what it's about doing stuff for other people's charities and helping them and why you do it.
Yeah.
And I come away from there and thought I need to do a little bit more of that. I like to do stuff and give stuff, but I need to make a goal of every year that will, since we help Mark, every year we need to help at least one person.
Yeah,
give them a day of your time to help them, maybe change their business or chat to them or do something or just give yourself to somebody. And
it's your time a lot of the time, isn't it? You know, just I mean, it's interesting because that's your dad's legacy, isn't it? And obviously it's now filtered through into you, and you will leave that legacy for Rocco now, aren't you? You know, the way you conduct yourself and the way you act, and I think because we know in the city it's that village, as we said before, we're all connected in many close ways, aren't we? And I love Plymouth, and I love the business people and what it can do for others, you know. And it's important we look after the community and
definitely
do good, you know.
Definitely, you all got to look after each other, you know. It's especially when times are hard, you got to realise that your brother is in pain or suffering, you know, and just pick the phone up from time to time.
That's all it needs.
We all forget to do that. We're all into social media and sending a text. Sometimes just to pick the phone up.
Talk, isn't it? Talk.
I'm an old school salesman, so I phone the people I do business with, and I phone them up regularly, same as Ross, and just pick the phone up and just have an natter.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, actually, somebody that you've just mentioned has asked me to ask you about your basketball career. I don't know what he means by that, but...
Well, it was close, to be fair. So I played for Whitey, basketball for Whitey.
Yeah.
I went for trials to South West England while I was at school. Joined the Raiders, trained with all the legends, with Frank Pelcock. The Bartons. Right. We used to get the keys off of Frank and go and train at Barton School.
Yeah.
Obsessed with it, me and my brothers, Sean and stuff, and my mates, we all used to go and play. And big part of our life for probably about 5 years. I pushed myself. I got into the Canaries, the junior team and stuff. I got a photograph which I just can't find anywhere.
Really?
Me and my kit.
It'll be there somewhere. Yeah.
I know, it must be my mum's house somewhere. I've seen it in the past.
Yeah.
And I tried to get into Raiders. I was just...
just that little bit off.
I got frustrated, a bit of a bust up with a couple of people. I just wasn't, I just wasn't quite good enough. All my mates were making it, and I just had this determination to get in. I just couldn't.
And frustrating.
And I walked away.
Yeah.
But then, I picked up martial arts. So amazingly, a lady called Kathy Griffin, who's I think she's a dog warden these days.
Oh, is she?
Amazing lady. She got me stuck in. She said that I'm giving up. You mean to meet this guy, Simon Hengel, who anybody in Plymouth who know martial arts will know Simon if they've not been kicked in the head by him.
Yes.
Met Simon, who introduced me to Mark Hutchinson, the Taekwondo guy, who are still really good friends. And they taught me to be the better person I am. Those two people in my life made me calm, made me think about life, made me respect, understand body language. I met them at 20 years old and they defined me. I think I could have gone the wrong way.
Wow, that's a statement.
I was a same little boy.
Yeah.
I could have easily gone down
a certain path.
The wrong way, quite easily, because just the way I was, really.
Yeah.
I was always like, I'm the third one in the family, I was always a bit rude, a bit way.
Yeah.
I could have easily gone down that wrong path. Martial arts probably stopped me being...
Where you could have been,
bad.
Yeah.
Which was quite ironic. We went through this stage of life throughout my 20s. I got it on a Saturday night, and
as you do.
People would either not want to fight with me or ask me, "I'm going to fight now." And think,
I can't be bothered,
mate.
Yeah.
I was just not. But I was fighting everyone and anybody in the gym at the time. It's what we did. Simon. Right. I wasn't afraid of anybody.
No. Yeah.
Sort of forget that people are coming to and going, "Oh, do you remember me?" I went, "No, you beat me up hard, did I? Sorry, not beat them up. We train hard. It was the 90s. It was hard training.
Yeah.
We taught people to fight and be hard fighters. And at the period of time, there were some phenomenal people. There's Carl Drake, who still is phenomenal now and teaching. There was Tony Tasker and Sean Tasker.
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
And people like that. There were some phenomenal fighters around at the time. And to be involved,
great standard.
In that era, at that time of sportsmanship, the level I was fighting at. And then, to end up 10 years later not being able to walk was
staggering.
You know,
honestly, it's been a real privilege to hear you tell that, because like you said, you've not told that story before, and for you to do it here, I'm really respectful of that, and I really appreciate it.
Trevor, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I could spend half my days sat talking to you about stuff. You make it so easy to talk.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's I think it's nice to give people a platform just to open up, and because we said earlier about men especially not being able to converse, but a story like that is incredible, and lots of people who watch this because it's you, they won't know that either, will they, until they watch it, and that's great that it's in the public domain.
I think there's a small amount of people that actually know about my spinal rift and the operation and what I went through. Yeah. But if anything, as my legacy is to tell people to, can I use the word pick your tits up and get on with it?
You can use whatever you want.
That's the phrase. That's what you got to do. That's what Trez told me.
Yeah.
Pick your tits up, stick your chin in the air. Yeah. Life is there for taking. Yeah. Enjoy it. Make the most out of it. You'll be dead tomorrow.
Yeah.
My mum says you're not old till you're 90.
Fair enough.
Live your life.
Yeah.
So get out there.
Go and grab it.
And don't look back, and surround yourself by people that are amazing.
Yeah. You're certainly doing that.
My wife and my son are the amazing people around me. She's been the inspiration and got me through the last 10, 11 years of this mayhem in my life, and I'm sure she still deals with it in some repercussions.
Yeah.
But having
amazing.
Something like that around you, and a child that will understand and also take the mick out of you, and not pander to you having bad days and stuff like that. You just gotta get on with life.
Get on with it. Yeah, well, you're certainly doing that, and it's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.